Welcome to the introduction of this checkup module. What we're going to do is run through all the verb tenses we've covered so far, and we'll mostly use new verbs, that is ones we really haven't focused on or even done at all in the course so far. Now, these are all going to be regular verbs that follow the rules and behave themselves. So we'll have three AR verbs, which are going to be escuchar, to listen to, prestar, to lend, and arreglar, to fix. Then three ER verbs, which will be aprender, to learn, vender, to sell, and depender, to depend. And finally, three IR verbs, which will be percibir, to perceive, escribir, to write, and subir, to climb. Now, in order to be successful with this drill, it's imperative that you remember the golden rule when it comes to conjugating verbs in Spanish. So here's an example slide. Say I gave you the verb hablar and I asked you to use that verb in order to express I speak, so the present tense. Now, the golden rule with conjugating verbs is that you're always playing with the ending, whether it's AR, ER, or IR. So this is the part that you focus on. The rest here that does not belong to this ending is the stem of the verb, and that remains unchanged. So this is set like concrete, and you're simply playing with the endings of the verbs. So for example, I speak, this AR goes to O. So we get hablo to express I speak. Now, say it was something like I spoke. So it gives us a dot in the past. Again, you would start from here, only this time, this AR ending would change to hablé for I spoke. In another slide, I could ask you how to express I was speaking. So this is now a line. So again, I would give you the full verb, and this would go to this ending, hablaba, I was speaking. I could ask you, I'm going to speak. In that case, you would just use the handle like this. I could also ask you something with, say, the ing tenses. For example, I am speaking. So in this case, you would have estoy, and then here changes to the ando ending, estoy hablando. Or another ing could be I was speaking, in which case this would now change to estaba hablando. And our most recent one was this would. So I would speak, in which case you go back, I'll give you this, just the raw verb. And of course this would change to hablaría. So this is how the drill is going to work. I just give you the raw verb and then choose one of 7 tenses that we've covered so far in detail. And I'll ask you how you would manipulate this raw verb in order to express what we want to say below. On each slide, it's very important that you pause and think it out. And because these are verbs which are not necessarily the easiest verbs to pronounce or ones that we are not so familiar with, it's very important that you hold that golden rule firmly in your mind. Don't be overwhelmed by it, because we're always playing with this ending, whether it's AR, ER, or IR. And that's really the key to focus on when it comes to conjugating Spanish verbs that you're not quite used to or that you are encountering for the first time. Finally, to help you prepare properly, I've done a PDF for you to download and print off with the endings of all the tenses and the different variations that we can get if it's an AR verb or if it is not an AR verb. So I'd like you to first of all have a look at that PDF just to refresh your memory of how the endings work for the different tenses we've covered so far. And then once you feel confident with that, go and begin the drill.